Right, we're going to start off with one of the books. And the reason that we're starting off with one of the books is because there's four the same. These four are all the kind of the recipe books. They're all the same. Where did I get my large mat from? I'll give you 3 guesses, Sally. Amazon. I'm sure Mark will put a thingy in it. But we've been talking about how we're going to change the filming setup. So I just want plain white. So we'll see how it goes. Hi Sue. Hi Kate. So hi Joan. What I want to do tonight is I want to make just one of these books. My reasoning is this. There are 4 books in this style and 1 in a different style in the book. In the, you know, the set. And I thought if we made one of these, you can then go off and make the other 3 that you need to make and decorate them if you want to. And start getting them together. So I thought if we make one of these, that would be a start, because then, you know, if you've got downtime in between classes, hold on, just let me, I'm gonna have to mute somebody else now. If there's downtime in between classes, then you can always hold on, make those up as well. So, you know, you've got time. Because I'm not going to sit in class with you and make up 4 of these, because you're going to be bored stupid of them. So we're just going to make one, but you're going to have to make it 4 times. Does that make sense? Now, although this is a recipe book, kit, class, collection, whatever, you could use this for so many different things. These recipe cards, these ones that are postcard size, but they're not that far off. 6x4 standard photo. They're what, 5 3/4 by 4 and a bit. So they're not that far off. So you could just put, like, you know, journaling cards or photo mats in there. So you don't have to use this, you know, just for recipes. You could use it, say, if you've been on a holiday and you want to, you know, do different parts of the holiday. You could do it for a wedding gift. You know, you could have, like, you know, the getting ready pictures. You could have the you know, the actual, you know, sort of service pictures. You could have reception pictures. You could put honeymoon pictures, all sorts of different things. So think outside the box. Ha, 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 ha. That's funny. Think outside the box and think of other reasons that you can use this for, because it doesn't have to just be recipes, okay? It could be anything, but obviously the book and the box are going to be made in exactly the same way. So I hope that makes sense, and that's what I am thinking we are going to do. But I still haven't got Axel. Where is he? Where is he? Right, that's my orange juice finished. Good. Okay, so that's a great idea, Sally. Yeah, baby's first 5 years. And all you'd have to do is, you know, I mean, you can make 5 of these, or you can make 5 of the other sort. The other sort of book is exactly the same size. It's just that it's got more like pockets and an envelope top, so that you can slip, I don't know, receipts or anything, you know, some sort of ephemera in there. But there's nothing to stop you using this book, you know, this style for any number of projects. So like I said, weddings, Sally's right, babies, graduation, holidays, anything. There is no theme that I can think of that you couldn't use this for. Right, so let's get started. All you're going to need tonight is black card, scoreboard, trimmer, bone folder glue. Simple as that. Okay?
And a partridge in a pear tree.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Yes, that too. Okay, so let's get our trimmers out and let's get started. What I want to do first of all, because we're going to take this bit by bit. Oh, yes, Kristen, what a great idea. Oh, a family tree book. Oh, that would be amazing. What a fantastic idea. And you could do it as well, you know, like for branches of the family. Oh, I love that. Oh, that would be
Eddie's.
that would be amazing. You had a pajama related incident. Yeah, Axel, I'm waiting for you. I can't start without my main man. Nope, not going to start until Axel's settled.
And Mark computer.
Yeah, and Mark's here too. Mark is settled now at his computer.
That's nearly finished booting it.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Decided to scan everything.
Right, so what we're going to start off doing first of all is we're going to take this bit by bit. And I'm going to first of all make the back of the book, and then school yearbook. Yes, Jill, that would be fantastic. You see, there's nothing that this wouldn't work for, I don't think. So I'm looking forward very much to seeing what you guys are going to use them for. That'll be very exciting to see those in the group for sure. Right, so yeah, what I'm going to do first is I want to make up the pages. Now, the book is actually made up of 4 pages. So as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 2 are exactly the same. And then these 2 outside ones are exactly the same, okay? But we're going to cut them all out first. We'll do the hinges last of all. So we're going to do the pages, and then we're going to do the pockets, and then we'll do the hinges and put the book together. And you're forgiven, my lovely. Oh, I've just finished my orange juice, Axel. Right, let me grab a load of black card.
I've got pineapple juice.
Mark's got pineapple juice. That figures. Okay, right, so once again, I'm not promising that the cutting guide is right, because we all know I can't type. Oh, it's not typing. Use a ruler to save my life. So, yeah. So I want you to cut 2 at 11 by 6 1/4 inches. Now do keep your offcuts, because you never know when they might be useful. They might not be useful, but they might be. So 2 at 11 by 6 1/4 inches. That'd be Loki, I guess. Hi, Rekka.
He says hello to Mark.
Yes.
Have you said hello?
I have said hello. Yeah.
Cool.
I wasn't starting until my mum was there. Right, okay. So now we need to cut 2 at 11 by 6 3/4 inches. So not 6 1/4, 6 3/4 by 11. So 2 of those, please. And then finally, we're going to cut 4 at 10 by 6 1/4. We might have to cut these down a little bit, but we'll worry about that later. So 4 at 10 by 6 1/4.
Ali says.
Hi, Ali. Hi, Polo. Oh, yes, I can imagine. Yes, sausages are very important.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so 4 at 10 by 6 1/4. Axel, how many have I cut already? I can't remember. Are you keeping count?
11 billion.
It feels like it. I think that's 3, but I'm not sure.
One more round.
Yeah, one more. At 6 1/4 by 10.
Or 10 by 6
Or 10 by 6 1/4. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, so those last four, the 10 by 6 1/4, I'm going to put those to one side because we don't need to score those at all. And if you've made folios with me before, this is made in exactly the same way as every folio I ever make. So it's not going to cause you any problems at all. Okay? Right, so now we need to get our scoreboards. I've actually miraculously found my
It says 4.
thing.
Ellie says.
He says 4. Thank you, Axel. Very important. You're doing a very important job there. Right, so these are the I'm going backwards now. So these are the bigger ones that I cut that were 6 3/4 by 11. And what I'm going to do first of all, he was right, Ellie, is I'm going to cut on the 6 3/4 side. I'm going to score on the 6 3/4 side, which means I've got 6 3/4 at the top, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. I'm going to scoot it round to 90 degrees, so I'm now scoring on the 11-inch side, which means I've got the 11 inches at the top, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to score at 10.5 inches. Okay, let me just check that's the right size. Miracle seems to be. Who knew? And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other one. So this is 6 3/4 by 11. So I'm going to score on the 6 3/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. Turn it round 90 degrees. So I'm now scoring on the 11-inch side at 1/2 inch. Really, I am. And at 10.5 inches. So what I've got here is I've got a piece of card that has got 3 intersecting score lines on it. Okay. That leaves our last two, which are 11 inches by 6 1/4 inches, and all we're going to do on these is 2 parallel score lines, and these are going to be on the 11-inch side. So we've got 11 inches at the top, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and we're going to score at 10.5 inches, and we're going to do that on both of them. So we've got the 11-inch side at the top, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and we're going to score at 11.5 inches. Okay, so you can put your scoreboard away for now. Right, so grab your bone folders. Don't know whether to use the big one or the little one. They're both filthy. And I'm just gonna fold on those score lines like that. And I'm just going to burnish to make sure that I've got some really, really, really good sharp creases. So those two that I've just scored last of all, they've just got 2 flaps, one at the top and one at the bottom. Okay? Right, next 2 pieces. These are the ones that are 6 3/4 by 11. And Mel will be delighted to hear that we're going to do a little bit of kinky mitering. So, for those of you who haven't done this before, and I can't believe there's anybody who hasn't done this before, what we're going to do is we're going to cut up to that intersecting score line there, to miter the corner, and instead of going straight across, we're going to just change the angle of our scissors slightly and cut it off at a different angle. So instead of it going straight across, it's got a bit of a kink in it. So that is what we call our kinky mitering. Okay?
The picture looks a lot clearer.
It does look really good, doesn't it? I must admit, I'm impressed with that.
You can actually see the creases.
Miracle.
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to do the same on the other one as well. Okay. Oh. Right. So on this one, we're going to fold on our score lines. So we're going to have 3 flaps instead of 2. And we are going to just
Lisa asked, have you got any black card on your website?
I have. We've got loads on the website, and we've just redone it, so it's even better value for money.
Super good.
We've bought in so much bulk that the store room will burn beautifully if our house ever burns down, won't it? But we won't go there. But yeah, we've got loads and loads and loads. We've got A4 and 12 by 12. And it's about 240 GSM. That's what I call 4 sheet, because it's about the thickness of 4 sheets of paper. And I think in America, did we decide that was about 80 GSM? I can't remember. Forgotten.
I can't remember that.
Can't remember. Right, so now I've got that all mitered and folded. So what I need to do now is take these pieces of the card that we haven't scored, and ideally those will fit in there and slip inside the flaps that we've made, except they never do. So what we're going to have to do is trim them down slightly. Now, just bear in mind that these are the exact width of these, so two of them don't need to be trimmed side to side, but it'll probably need to be trimmed top to bottom, just slightly, ever so slightly, say 1/8 of an inch or something. So I'm going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch off 2 of them. So when I slip these inside there, they now don't bow out. It sits nice and flat. So that might need to have a tiny bit more taken off. So this is going to sit underneath those flaps. There we go. And be flat. Okay? So that's going to make my page nice and flat. So those 2 pieces now fit quite nicely. Now the other ones, they're going to need to be trimmed down top to bottom for sure. That fits in all very nicely. And it pretty much fits in side to side. There's just a slither that I'm going to take off. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it and then take that off afterwards. Okay? So here are those there, the long pieces with just the 2 flaps. So what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to get my glue and I'm just going to pop some glue on the inside of those flaps. Pop in that 1 piece of flat unscored card and fold the flaps down over the top. I like to use my bone folder just to make sure that I've got a really, really, really good stick going on. So what I've got now is a page that's got 2 sides on it, but it's got a hole all the way through the middle. Okay? And I'm going to have 2 of those. So here's my other one. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the inside of those flaps. If you've made folios with me before, this isn't anything that we haven't done.
You know why the teddy bear didn't want ice cream?
I don't know. Why did the teddy bear not want ice cream, Mark?
Because he was stuffed.
Because he was stuffed. Oh dear. Do you know any good jokes, Axel? When I say good, I mean better than that. Okay, so that's that page all nicely glued down. So now what I'm going to do is the same with these pages. These are the ones where I've got the 3 flaps. I'm going to put some glue on all the inside of all 3 flaps. And pop that flat piece of card inside and fold the flaps down.
Well, Lisa's just been and bought 100 sheets of black card.
No worries, we'll sort that out for you.
Have a late night. Yeah.
So I'm just going to line that up and fold it down.
Axel says that was a funny joke.
It's not funny,
No.
Axel. Don't encourage him.
No.
Now, don't worry if when you're gluing this down, you can see, and I'll show you, just let me just make sure that that's stuck. You can see, like, the bits where we folded it here. Don't worry if you can see that you've got a gap. Don't worry if you can see a gap with the card underneath, because we're going to cover that and you'll never see it, okay? So don't worry about it. I should sell Cal mystery eggs in the shop. What's a mystery egg?
Well, that's the thing, eh?
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Oh.
Bit like a fortune cookie with a joke in.
Oh, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that. We should do lucky bags. Can you still get lucky bags? Like where you don't know what you're getting?
Sweets and stuff in it.
Sweets, jokes. If we start selling sweets in bags, Mel will have our guts for garters.
Straws. Big
Straws, yeah. Definitely straws. Oh, I think I might have put that in the wrong place.
Celia says she's just finished a fighting spine. It looks stunning. She keeps looking at it.
Oh, brilliant. They're not mistakes, Celia. They're design features.
She's right.
I've just done exactly the same thing with this again. I've just stuck it in exactly the same place. I need it to go down a bit. I don't know what I'm doing here.
It's been one of those days.
Sure has. Right, let's try again. Oh. Okay, so I've got a bit of an overlap there, so I'm just going to cut that down. So I'll just grab my trimmer and I'll just tidy it up a bit. Do you know how geese fly in an arrow and that one side of the arrow is longer than the other? Do I know why that is? No, I don't know why that is. Do tell, Tracy.
Of course, we've got a lag, haven't we?
Yeah.
The suspense.
So yeah, you're all going to know before we do. Probably help if I trim the right side.
Wendy says lucky bags are made. Well, I presume it's lucky bags she's referring to. They're made in Stoke-on-Trent.
Oh, are they?
Because there's more geese on that side.
Because there's more geese on that side.
Oh dear. Well,
Oh dear, oh dear.
we'll put that one with your.
We'll put that one in
This
the
is a
lucky
joke.
bag. Yeah. So what I've got now is I've got 2 pages that have got 2 holes in. And I've got 2 pages that have got 1 hole in. Okay? So you with me so far? Because what we're going to do now is we're going to cut out all of the upon zillions of pockets, because there's hundreds of the darn things. When I made this originally, I cut them all out in one go.
I'll let you read Ellie's.
Let me read Ellie's. A giant mystery egg comes in small, medium or big, and you can add more every time. Sell them at shops, but not in America, because you can't buy things from America. You could put mystery paper or mystery scraps. That is such a good idea. We should do that. Yeah. A mystery egg, but it would have to be a mystery bag, because I don't think that I could find a box big enough to put an egg in that would hold 12 by 12 paper. I'll tell you what I'll do, Axel. I'm going to put a mystery bag together and I'm going to send it to you, and I'm going to need you to review it for me. All right? Right, okay, let's cut these millions and millions and millions of
Mel's well.
pockets.
I vaguely heard something about straws.
Yeah, we were saying we should put straws in our mystery bags. You were talking to your hubby. Well, that's terrible. You should be concentrating on class. Right, okay, I want you to cut... Right, now if you've printed out the cutting guide, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 3 items are what we've just done. The next 2 items are cut 2 at 10 by 2.5 and 10 by 3. They're the hinges. I don't want to cut those yet. We'll cut those last. So I want you to cut 6 at 7.25 by 3.5 inches. So 6.
I smell what a straw is.
Oh dear, don't get us started. A straub is a gummy sweet by a company called Haribo. I don't know what nationality Haribo is. Is it German?
I have no idea. I'll have a look in a sec.
And they're like big flat strawberries, and they're really nice. And Mark stole all mine, and it will never be Christmas, and it will never ever be forgotten. In fact, you know, it's probably going to have to go. It's going to probably have to be in every argument we ever have.
Dee has just had a new stapler.
Oh,
He's a
staplers.
swinger.
Oh, is it French? Ah, well, we've got a great big
Karen's
new
in Germany.
fancy.
What's going on?
Oh, we've got a brand new fancy outlet centre being built here in Cannock with all the posh companies, you know, all the designer companies, you know, like Hugo Boss and Gap and all of that lot opening shops, which doesn't appeal to us in the slightest, except they then said they were opening a Haribo shop.
It's German. Haribo.
Ah, wow. Oh my goodness, I hope we don't have problems getting them now.
No, it's not French.
No, but it's still on the continent, on the EU mainland.
I'm sure we'll get our cola
no.
bottles.
Oh no.
I agree with that. So the best Haribos are cola bottles.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Right, so I'm cutting 6 at 7.25 by 3.5. These are the bottom pockets, okay? So you're going to get 3 out of a sheet of A4. So 2 sheets of A4 will do it. I do hope so. That doesn't even bear thinking about. Not being able to get straws. I'm not huge on gummy sweets, to be honest, although my tastes do change, but I do love a straw. Right, 7.25 by 3.5. Pontefract, isn't that where the licorice comes from?
The cakes, Pontefract cakes.
Yeah, that's licorice, isn't it?
Yeah, I love them.
Yes, Axel, you can do an unboxing. Right, okay, so that's 6. These are the bottom pockets. So that is 6 at 7.25 by 3.5. Now, the stack pockets. We need 18 of these, so be prepared for some cutting. We need 18 at 7.25 by 2.5. Axel, keep count for me. I need 18 at 7.25 by 2.5. I haven't got that many fingers, so I haven't got a hope.
Sounds like she was born in tonight.
Well, yes, that probably might solve the problem. Right, so get 4 out of a sheet of A4. So 18 divided by 4 is what? 4 and 1. Oh, that's helpful. Oh.
7 1/4 by 2.
Well, that's the wrong colour, black. Got 2 sorts of black card here.
Sally says, sorry to be a pooper, but give me chocolate and keep your hand down.
Yeah, no, I prefer chocolate, but I have to be in the mood for it. My sweet tooth has just disappeared lately. Really has. I don't know. It's disappeared and I've lost £6. I don't know what on earth has happened. Something pretty drastic.
Let's round it up to a tenner.
Round up to 10, yeah. That's what my Fitbit says. Keeps telling me 4 more pounds to go. Because I was giving myself realistic goals, but I never actually started. So I don't know quite how I've managed it. So 18, 7 1/4 by 2 and a half.
You can actually visit the Haribo factory in Pontefract.
Oh. We might have to do that when lockdown finishes.
Yes. 2030.
Do you think they've got like a factory shop?
I'll just have a look.
That would be ace, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Right, in theory that should be 16. What do you reckon, Axel?
Alison says they sell them in 5 kilograms.
Oh, that'd be ace.
Tracy says all these pockets are there for each folder.
Yep, they sure are. And I cut them all out for all 4, all at once. What sort of idiot was I?
So it's 4 times 18.
4 times 18, which is what?
72.
72. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, hold on, I've lost my picture. Let me see if I can get you guys back. Oh.
Valerie says, sorry, she's late.
You are okay. You're late and I'm lost. So, I don't know. I can't... hang on. I've managed to get a full screen of my thing and no comments. Let me go back into the page. Sorry guys.
Karen Snow says hi.
I'll be with you in a minute. I like to see what you're all chattering about whilst I'm... Ah, there we go. Hi Karen. Well, actually, we were talking earlier about all the different things you can use it for. We came up with quite a lot. What did we say? Oh, well, Mark's going to type it. I'll let him do that. I'm just counting. Hang on. Count with me, Axel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I want 2 more, don't I? 2 more. And I've run out of that particular black card. Or have I? Nope. Now, once we've made these, you can go off and decorate them. However, let me just give you a little word of warning. You need to really think about what papers you want where. Personally, I'd be inclined not to decorate until everything's made, or at least the box is made, because I chose my favourite papers for the box, so you can see which ones I like best. So I put the papers on the outside of the box first, and the papers are quite diverse in the kit if you've had the kit. But I will also warn you that if you look underneath these recipe cards, I have not decorated the stack pockets, mainly because A, I didn't need to, because obviously the cards are in the way, but B, I was trying to save on paper, because although there is a lot of paper in the kit, there's no paper to waste. So I'd be inclined to just decorate in my favourite bits, and I've used the 8x8 papers in the smaller inside the books. Well, I've used the 8x8 papers here, but these are the 12x12 papers again. So I might be inclined to hold off on decorating until we've at least made the box, okay? Because you're going to have to be very aware of how much paper you're using, okay? I don't want people to run out and you know, be upset by that. So that's how I've decorated mine, just to warn you. I've done a little bit of paper piecing as well, like here you can see that that's got a little bit of the red on. So because I just made sure that I did my favourite bits first, because this book, because there's a lot of it, is really heavy on the pattern paper, okay? So just to warn you. But now we're gonna put those stack pockets on. So what we need to do first of all is score them. So I'm going to put those 18 smaller pieces to one side, and I am going to grab my trimmer, and once again I have lost my bone folder. Oh, here it is. And I'm going to score these. They're just very easy basic pockets which go at the bottom of each page. So there's 6 of these, because when we fold the book out, we've got 2 here, and then we've got 4 inside. Okay, so each of the 6 bits is made in exactly the same way.
I still want to know, when did Cal start crafting?
Well,
About 7.
about 7:30, yeah. I don't know. I always enjoyed art at school. I used to do a lot of painting at school, and I remember one of my earliest memories is painting at playgroup. But I remember when I was 18, I started hand sewing patchwork cushion covers, and then I did lots of cross stitch. And then I started scrapbooking not long before my daughter was born, which led to the books. And she's nearly 22 now, so quite a while. Right, so I'm going to score the basic pockets first. These are the ones that go at the bottom of the page, and there's 6 of them. So these measure 7 1/4 by 3.5 inches. So first of all, I'm going to score on the 7 1/4 inch side, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to score at 6 3/4 inches. Okay, so I've got 2 parallel score lines there. Switch it round. So I'm now scoring on the 3.5 inch side, and I'm going to just score that at 1/2 inch. So what I've got here is a basic pocket with the 3 intersecting score lines, and I'm just going to double check that fits, which it does. So I've obviously done that right. That's a miracle. And I'm going to score each of those in exactly the same way. So I'm going to score on the 7 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch, and at 6 3/4 inches. Shift it round 90 degrees, and I'm going to score on the 3.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. So 7 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch and at 6 3/4 inches, and then I'm going to score on the 3 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch. So I'll just finish those off. What do you like crafting best, Axel? I've seen some of your books and they are pretty darned amazing, I have to say. Well, what do you like? Do you like to draw best? Or do you like to make books? That would be the right answer, by the way. Or something else. Stickers. I know you like doing that. Okay, so that's all of my base pockets all scored. So now we've got this Mammoth 18. Mark, my love, can you just turn around a minute? My computer has decided to update itself and it keeps showing me this iCloud thing. Yeah. And it's not installed and I can't get rid of it, and it keeps bringing it up every 5 minutes. So look, when I get rid of it, it says cancel. Yeah, that's gone. Right, sign out. And it tells me that delete from PC, and it says that I can't. So can you have a look at that sometime for me, please?
Yes.
Because it's driving me slowly nuts.
Is that an aside?
Yes, that's an aside.
Okay.
It's just if I don't remember to tell you now, I'll forget completely.
Forget what?
Exactly. Right, so see you later, Joan. Axel says, I scrapbook. Sometimes I have a scrapping book in my bedroom. I made an African sunset picture with Mummy's special ink. Oh, your mummy's very brave, letting you loose on the special inks. Also, where do you find all of your papers? In my shop. Also, I have a little book I made a long time ago with you, and it's on my shelf. That's lovely. Where do I find all my papers? Well, Axel, I'm really glad you asked that question. And to be honest with you, I will tell you in a minute, because this is going to take a long time to do this. So I'll tell you whilst I'm doing it. So just let me get everybody started, because this is a good time to talk about this. So these are our little stack pockets, everybody. So I'm going to tell you how to do it a couple of times, and then I'm going to answer Axel's question. So first of all, we've got our stack pockets. There's 18 of them. And these are 7 1/4 by 2 1/2 inches. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to score on the 7 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch and at 6 3/4 inches. But when we turn it 90 degrees, I don't want you to score at 1/2 inch. I want you to score at 1 inch. So this is different. Okay, so we've got 2 score lines, 1/2 inch like normal. But this score line is at 1 inch. It's not at 1/2 inch. Okay? So we've got to do all 18 of those. So score on the 7 1/4 inch side at 1/2 inch. And then at 6 3/4 inches. Turn it around 90 degrees and score at 1 inch. Right, Axel, to answer your question, where do I find my papers? Well, I look a lot on the internet, so I'm often on Facebook and I follow a lot of pages of really pretty papers, you know, companies who make really pretty papers that I've seen. And I'm in a lot of groups where people work with pretty papers, and if I see something I like, I go and have a look and see if I can find the company. And sometimes people in this lovely, lovely group suggest new papers to me that I don't know about, so I go and have a look and see if I can get those. And there's just all sorts of things. There's a website that I really like called Pinterest, and there's lots of ideas for papers on there. And then adverts suggest new places for me to look for papers, so all over. What sort of papers do you like? Oh, actually, while you're here, I could show you something really exciting. You know, on a Sunday, oops, missed. You know, on a Sunday, we're going to do our 6x6 paper, our 6x6 books. I got some paper the other day. Well, I'm hoping it's to hand. It might not be. I might not be able to show you after all. That didn't sound good, did it?
Really good.
Look, do you like this? This is called Zoo Adventure. And I'm going to make a book with this. And it's brilliant. It's got all sorts of zoo words and animals in it. And that's going to be in April. There will be kits available for this if people want them. I think they're really cool, so I'm going to make a book with that.
When are the Sunday classes starting?
The Sunday classes are starting at 7:30 GMT. They're going to be on the first Sunday of every month, starting on the starting on the 7th of March. And the first book that we're going to make is this star book, which I haven't finished yet. But I'm going up to my paper wholesalers later this week to pick up the papers. So there will be a kit for this. And I'm just going to, I mean, it's made. I just want to decorate it up and put pretty things in it. So I'll do that this week. And then they'll be going for sale in the shop. Now, kits for this will be available for £15. And that will include your postage if you are in the UK and you don't buy anything else. Because they'll go in those little postal boxes that will fit through your door, so it doesn't matter whether you're in or not. So I'm going to do those at £15 all in.
What time was it at?
7:30 GMT. So that's going to be the first Sunday of every month. So I'm carrying on my scoring at 1/2 inch, 6 3/4 of an inch, and then 1 inch on the 2.5 inch side. And this is going to take some time.
And it says, actual said, that's so cool. My mummy could buy that so we can make it.
Yes, I agree with you. Your mummy absolutely should.
Michelle says it looks complicated.
What well, I don't know if Marielle's here tonight, but a lovely lady called Marielle, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, contacted me and asked if I'd ever made a Starbuck. You can tell I need a coffee. In the next week or so, Sally, but I'll do what I always do, and I will show you the finished book. I will tell you when I'm going to let the kits go live, and you know, give you a bit of time to get sorted. Probably sometime this weekend, I would say, and then you'll have them in plenty of time for class. But I will let you know in the group before they go live. I'll do it exactly the same way as I always do, so everybody gets a fair crack of the whip. Yeah, it looks complicated. It's really not. Lady called Marielle contacted me and asked me if I'd ever made a star book. I'm still coffee minded. And I've heard so much about them and I've seen them, and I was really worried that they were going to be complicated, so I admitted quite freely that I haven't. So I went and had a look at how to make them, and I was amazed at how easy they are. And I'm not just saying that, they really are incredibly simple to make, and they look so wonderful. Do I get book requests often? Not often enough. I love it when people ask me to have a look at a book or to use some sort of papers in particular. That's really helpful. I mean, the recipe book came out of somebody's suggestion. I can't remember who it was now. Who said that they'd like a recipe book, and that was what I came up with. That the Bloom Street book came about because I was asked to design a book that had lots of flips and flaps in it and was very interactive. I'm just trying to think. That's you know, usually it's the papers that lend themselves. I mean, I make no secret of which my favourite paper brands are. And if I know that something's coming out, I'll often look at papers and think, oh, you know, I could just do this, that or the other. But I love it when people suggest ideas for books to me. It's really helpful, but we've got such a lot coming up. For instance, if I ever get my parcel, I know it's in the UK. I just don't know where. Well, I do know where it is. It's just not here. We've got all the papers for our Vagabond book, which I have started, and I don't want to say too much about it because quite often I'll tell you I'm going to do something and I'll end up in a completely different place.
Did
Yes,
someone
somebody did ask for the 12 by 12 one, Mel, but they wanted true 12 by 12, and I couldn't figure out. I know what it was. I have a feeling it was Karen. Was it Karen or Jill? And they said how great it would be if they could have a book where they could just use the signature page out of a Graphic 45 collection and just stick it straight on the page, and that would be it decorated. Well, of course, that means that the book has to be pure 12 by 12, which is nigh on impossible if you want something, you know, that size. It's going to be relatively, you know, stable. So I had to have a think about that. But that came to me when I was driving down the road. Most bizarre how these things happen. So yeah, people do ask, and I love it when they do. So yeah. The 6 by 6 thing came about because people were asking about, you know, or we were talking about the fact that we've all got 6 by 6 books that we don't use. So yeah, that's kind of how things tend to come about. Have I answered all the questions? I think I have. Right, okay, so we've got our basic pockets here. So I'm now working on the pockets that have got the 3 score intersecting score lines. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kinky mitre each of the corners, okay? So I'm going to snip up to where the score lines intersect and just change the angle of my scissors. And I'm going to do that on each of these bottom pockets, okay? Now I've just had a look at the time, and I can see that all I've done tonight is talk,
Yep.
as
What's
usual.
The 12 by 12 called?
Well, it's called the 12 by 12 folio. It is in the OneDrive. All the classes are on YouTube as well for those, and I've nearly finished uploading the Fa La La folio classes up to YouTube. Do follow my YouTube. I feel like I'm missing a trick with YouTube, because eventually I get around to editing these classes and putting them on YouTube. But I never seem to think about doing more with the channel than that. I probably should. We've been talking about it, haven't we, Mark? The things that we can do on the YouTube channel.
We have indeed.
So I've cut all those off now. I've kinky mitered all 6 of those bottom pockets. Let me just get rid of this. Okay. Now, the stack pockets are slightly different. We're going to cut those in a slightly different way. So what I've got with my stack pocket here is I've got this 1 inch gap instead of the ½ inch. So what I'm going to do is, this bit is the bit that hangs out the top. This is the bit of the pocket that we see. This is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to just snip down to where the score lines intersect. And I'm going to just cut that off like that. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So I'm going to cut up to where the score line intersects. And I'm just going to change the angle of my scissors, and I'm going to cut it like that. Now I don't think I'm going to be able to make all of these up tonight, because it's going to take far too long. So what I would suggest we do is make up one set, and then you can go off and make them all up, and then we'll start off next week by adding the hinges. Now if you've made these folios with me before, it'll be quite obvious how the books go together and how the hinges work. So if you want to go ahead, you know, by all means do, but if you haven't done one with me before, then don't. And I'll show you how to do it at the beginning of the next class. So I actually only want 3 of those. So for each page that we've made, I want 1 bottom pocket and 3 stack pockets, and I'm going to show you how they go together. And I'm going to start on, I'll start on one of the outside ones. Now the outside pages are the ones that are enclosed on 3 sides, okay? So what I'm going to do is, and just think about this when you're putting it together, okay, is I'm going to lie this down so that when my book is shut like this, this page is this one. So this is facing with the enclosed side left, and then I'll have this one which is facing enclosed side well, no, that'll be pointing right, and that'll point left, and that'll point right. So these are the enclosed sides. These are the open sides, okay? Now for me, it doesn't really matter which way round they are, but I've always done it so that the flat side without the flaps is the top. So this is how I've put this page together, but you just need to bear in mind when you're putting the pockets on that you are working on opposite sides, otherwise you're going to end up with them upside down, okay? So I'm just going to work on my left hand page first, which is this one. Now you will see that I have got pockets on this side, but I've got pockets on that side as well. On the ones with the 2 openings, we've only got pockets on the back, okay? But we'll worry about that in a minute. So here is my first page, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my bottom pocket, which is the one with the 1/2 inch score lines all the way round, and I'm just going to fold that over. No idea where my little bone folder is, doesn't matter, I'll use my big one, and I'm just going to burnish those so I get a really nice sharp edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the flaps like this. And I'm going to attach this to the very bottom of that page. Okay, so for this particular page, this is my left hand page as soon as I open my book. So here's my book. I'm going to open it up and I'm working on this pocket here. Okay, so that is at the very bottom. So this bit here is enclosed and this bit here is open because that's where we're going to attach the hinges. Okay, so I've just attached that bottom pocket to my page. This is the enclosed side, this is the open side, and that bottom pocket fits exactly to the bottom of that page, okay? Now we need these funny little stack pockets. Now, sometimes they fit and sometimes they don't, you right? Don't be fooled by people who say they always fit, because they don't. So the way that I do it is I fit it before I burnish and glue it. So I'm going to take these 2 flaps here and I'm going to fold them under. This score line here is a guide. It is not folded, it is a guide. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use my guide, this inch mark here, this inch flap, and I'm going to slip it into that bottom pocket like that, okay? And I'm going to make sure that my pocket, my stack pocket, fits from side to side, okay? Now I've got a little bit of a bump here. I'm not too happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my fingers just to fold it a little bit. So hopefully when I pop that back in there, it's going to be a better fit, okay? Which it is. So now I can glue that down to my page and I've got my stack pocket. It fits up to where that score line is and it fits perfectly side to side. So now I'm just going to burnish these flaps because I know that it fits. You might have to do a little bit of trimming of your mitre here. It's all quite normal. Don't think you've done something wrong, because you won't have. It's just a case of fitting so that it looks tidy. All right?
Made to measure.
Yeah. So I've put glue on those 2 little flaps there. I'm going to slip that into the top of the open pocket up to that score line, and I'm going to glue that down. Okay, so what I've got now, what I've got now is I've got my bottom pocket and I've got another pocket here, okay? And then my recipe card will just fit in there just snugly like that, okay? Right, so now I'm going to take another of these funny little stack pockets and I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to just fold it gently and I'm going to slip it into the pocket that I've just done, the stack pocket, up to where that score line is, because that's my guide, and I'm going to make sure that it sits perfectly side to side before I glue it down, and I'm happy with that. So I'm going to just use my bone folder just to burnish it, but you can see here where I've cut it, I've got a little knobbly bit. I don't like the knobbly bit, so I'm going to cut the knobbly bit off. And I'm going to pop some glue on those two flaps. There's no glue going on this bottom flap. I'm going to slip that into the pocket there, up to where that score line is. And I'm going to glue that down. Now, if you're making this not as a recipe book, bear in mind that you can make different sized tags or photo mats to go inside these stack pockets. Now, obviously, all of our recipe cards are the same size and they fit in nicely. But if you are making your own photo mats, this pocket will fit all the way down to the bottom of the page, you see. So you can make photo mats in different sizes. Does that make sense? So you can have a big photo mat here that's got more photos on, and then, you know, do it in different stages. So you can fit an awful lot in this book, an awful lot. So this is my last stack pocket on this page. So I'm just folding over those flaps just to make sure that I've got my sizing right. I'm going to pop it in there. Yep, I'm happy enough with that. I might just fold that a little bit differently at the top. I'm going to use my bone folder now just to burnish it. I'm going to put my glue on. And I'm going to attach that inside there like that. Okay. Right, so that's one side of that page done. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over, because what I'm going to want to do is exactly the same on the other side. So these ones, I haven't glued that down very well. No, night, Axel, lovely. I'll send you a goodie bag, and you can tell me what's my what
favourite colour.
I don't know.
Mine's red.
Mark's is red because it matches his nose, and mine is probably, do you know what colour teal is? It's kind of a bluey green. I like teal.
Sally says, well, the recipe cards in top two pockets fall behind the lower pockets.
Well, mine haven't yet. I've had mine in my box since I made them, and they have not fallen down. They haven't. They've stayed in exactly the right place, because it is quite tight. I mean, we've got half an inch to play with, and it's never fallen down. If you're worried about that, you can just back them onto a piece of longer card if you wanted to. I mean, like, I don't know. You'd have to be careful about how you're putting it on, though, I guess, because it's two-sided. But mine have never fallen down. They never have done, so I'm not too worried about that. Right, you can see this is standing up. Let me just take the lid off that. I'll just grab one of the other books. If this has fallen down now, I'm going to feel like a complete twat. Idiot. I've done it again. Sorry, guys. A complete idiot. So, here we go. And they've all stayed in place. So they haven't fallen down. So there we go. Right, okay. So now, yeah, the other side. So I've got my... I'm not going to get out. I'm not... Oh, stupid word. Never mind. Just keeping you all on your toes. So now I'm just going to do exactly the same on the back of that one. I'm going to glue that down there.
Ellie says she's glad she took the headphones off after when she did it.
Yes, probably best. Okay, so we've got that bum pocket on, and now we're going to do exactly the same. We've got 3 of these stack pockets to add. We're just going to slip that inside there for size, make sure that's okay, which it is. So I'm going to burnish that. and glue it. So on the 2 pages that we have one enclosed side and one open side, we're going to be putting the stacked pockets on both sides of the page. Okay, now just bear in mind when you put them on the other side that you need to do it so that they're not upside down. Okay, and then on these pages, the ones that open on 2 sides, I just want you to put the what do you call it, the ordinary pocket and the stack pockets on one side, and I've done it so that they are on the side where the flaps are. Okay, so rather than sit and watch me do the entire thing, I think that's probably where we should leave it for tonight. And I'm going to leave you to put all of your stack pockets in. Now, if you want to make up one book, or you want to make up all 4 of them, you go ahead and do what's right for you. And we'll start next Wednesday's class by adding in our hinges, okay? So you're going to have 2 pages, the ones with one enclosed side. They're going to have pockets and stack pockets on both sides of the page. And then the one with 2 open sides is just going to have the stack pockets on one side. If you get it all stuck, just give us a shout. We will be around and can help. I'm happy to pop on and help out if necessary. But is everybody happy with this so far? You're all confident that you know what you're doing, yeah? You can manage this so far. You all happy with that before we go? Just put my glasses back on. Ouch. Right. Okay, so if everybody's okay, we're going to leave it there. Right, now, I'm going to spoil everybody's night. Mark and I just want to say thank you to everybody who has messaged us about Ruby. And we just want to let you know that we let her go this morning. So I'm really sorry that we've been out of contact for a couple of days. We both stayed up with her last night because we arranged for the vet to come to the house this morning, because it was quite clear yesterday afternoon that she stopped eating, which is not like Ruby at all. No. So we thought it was time to let her go. So thank you everybody so much for all your kind wishes. We've popped her at my dad's house. She's with all of our family cats since 1942. So she's in good company, and heaven help any archaeologist that ever digs up my dad's garden. Oh, yes. But she is at peace now. So I apologise that we have been a little bit incognito for the last 2 days, but that's why. So thank you so much for all your messages and all the love that you sent us. We're so grateful to you. Right, so I hope you're all okay with that. Let us know if you need any help. Please don't be afraid to ask, because keeping occupied is what we want. And we will see you guys, if you're doing the Fun Alarm book, we will see you on Friday evening. And otherwise, we'll be back here next Wednesday. Very exciting. I might actually do a book for each of our cats. We could do that. We've got enough flipping photos. Yes. Yeah, we have. All right, guys, lots of love. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all on Friday. All right, lots of love all. Bye. Oh.